Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another live. Say hi in the chat box if you are joining me live today. And if you're not, make sure that you put in the comments below where you are watching the replay from. I just love to see where all of you are joining me from. Today, we're really like kicking off Vlogmas, which starts on Thursday. And I do this every single year. This is actually going to be my fifth Vlogmas, which I love, absolutely love doing these videos because this is the time frame where I am doing them back to back. So if you've never been a part of my Vlogmas before, if you don't know how Vlogmas goes and you're really new to it, how I usually will do it is it starts on December 1st all the way through December 25th. So it is videos every single day from December 1st all the way through the 25th. And I am always talking about how you can start to get yourself organized, how you can organize your life, how you can organize your money, how you can organize yourself, how you can basically get yourself all the way together and prepped for the brand new year. So let me know in the chat box. Have you started to organize yourself? Have you started getting yourself kind of prepped and ready? I love to start getting myself organized in the month of December because I always feel like in the end of the year, when you get around Christmas time, that's when everything starts to get really hectic. And then by the time the new year gets settled, it's like already 15th, 16th of January. And so I don't like to try and organize myself around that time because that's the time that we're spending with family. We are like just relaxing. We're off from work. So who wants to be revamping and trying to organize themselves during that time and setting up goals around that time? So what I like to do is actually start in December. So it's almost like I don't really set annual goals for really like I set them in the month of December. This is the time where I'm looking at the first quarter. I am trying to think about what I'm going to be doing for my overall habits, my routines, my planner organization, my money organization, my home organization, projects, and all of those different things. So I wanted to bring you along on that journey. And I always do that by starting Vlogmas, which is the 25 videos that we are going to be doing for the month of December. So what I wanted to do for this one though, or for this live, is mainly show you or talk to you about the videos that we are going to be doing for the month of December and also get your input if there's anything else that I am forgetting, because every single year for Vlogmas, I always come up with all of these ideas. I will have 25 videos, and then one of you will comment, and it will be a really good video idea that I did not think of. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have thought of that because that was a really great idea. So, what I have decided to do is like kind of open it up on this video so that y'all can put in the comments or kind of give me some additional ideas of things that you may want to see, just in case I have not considered it, right? So this is absolutely my favorite time. I love doing this every single year, but I wanted to kind of get a feel of you all and see how you all are doing. Let's see. I'm thinking of things that I want to accomplish in the first months of the new year, but I haven't actually sat down and written anything out yet. Yeah, I feel like this is like usually after Thanksgiving is kind of like my kick start to really start to kind of get myself together. So I wanted to share with you all how mine is going to go, or like the flow of the different types of videos that we're going to be doing. So Vlogmas starts on Thursday. So Thursday is the 1st of December, and that is going to be the beginning of my organization, trying to get everything together journey. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing. Oh, this is a good idea. Email organization. I don't have, you know what? I keep saying I want to do a digital organization video, and I haven't done it yet. So I really need to get on top of that. And so I'm writing that. I'm writing down y'all ideas as I see them, so that we can so that I can make sure that I don't forget any of them. All right, so let me show you some of the ideas that I have coming up for the new year. I'm going to try and make this bigger so that you all can see it. So this is my Trello board. This is actually how I organize my social media for Vlogmas. And this is mainly because for Vlogmas, it is a lot. It is a lot of organization and a lot of things that I have to plan out ahead of time. And if you've ever done anything like this, where you've done multiple videos, maybe you've participated in whatever you may call it. It might be Planmas for you. It might be Vlogmas. But if you've ever participated in this on YouTube, then you know it is a lot of planning that goes into this and a lot of organization to be able to pump out all of these videos back to back. So what I use in order to kind of get myself organized and prep is Trello. Trello, it's a free app. I use the free version. They do have a paid version of this app, but I use the free version in order to kind of get myself prepped and ready for Vlogmas. So where we're going to start with Vlogmas is with my planner. I always use my planner setup as the setup that kind of helps me with all of the other areas. I always start with my planner because my planner kind of helps me to see how I want every other area to flow with in my life. So I'm going to start off with my planner. We're going to talk about how I'm organizing it. I'm also going to be sharing with you the planners that I'm going to be using for 2023. We're also going to be setting up my planner for 2023. And then we're going to jump into some goals. I'm going to talk about my word for 2023 and my goals for 2023, my habits, my routines. So we're going to jump into that around the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then I'm going to jump into my to-do list. As you can see, there's a different way that I've been organizing my to-do list. And so I wanted to talk about that as well. And so that's going to be its own video, and how I track and pre-plan using my planner. So we're going to be talking about that, commonplace planning, and how I'm going to be setting up that for 2023. And then I'm going to get into some work organization. So if you are an entrepreneur, because I know a lot of you have been asking me for videos on entrepreneurship or work organization or how you can stay on top of your projects, I am going to be doing a couple of videos around that. Like if you are an entrepreneur and you have to wear multiple hats, how do you keep all of that organized? So I'm going to be sharing with you the ways that I have put into place, the things that I have done, how I theme my days, how I time block my days, so that when I have to put on multiple hats, when I have to be the CFO of my business, when I have to be the CEO, when I have to go into marketing, when I have to do social media planning, how I plan each one of those things. Because for my business and for our church, we have multiple calendars. There's not just one calendar. So like, for instance, I have a social media calendar that kind of decides how I'm going to plan out social media. But I also have an event plan calendar of my events that I have coming up. And then I also have a product launch calendar for when I'm going to launch products and when I'm going to launch services that I want to do within my business. So how are we going to coincide and make sure that there's a good flow for all of these different things that we have going on? And it's the same thing with our church. With our church, we have a preaching calendar, we have a social media calendar, we have an event calendar, and we have a marketing, like a product launch calendar, all within the same organization. So we have to stay on top of all of these things. And sometimes staying organized with all of those different things, it's very, very challenging. And so that's why I wanted to dive into business organization. So I'm gonna put it in the chat box, but the name of the the name of the site that I am using in order to kind of help me with my social media organization is called Trello. Now, I use the free version of this particular app. If I always see if I can use the free version because my planner is always my top tier way that I organize. But sometimes I do like to use digital ways or digital organization for different things. Like I will use Evernote, I will use Trello, I will also use my Google Calendar. And I did see that you want a digital organization video, so I'm gonna try and see if I can put that within my system. Kim, that's a great question. Organize You will be the same price for next year. I am going to make a couple of changes to Organize You because I want to structure it to where we are. I'm going to be launching like different courses or different things that I did in the past. I'm going to be bringing those back out in 2023. So, how to start planning your life is going to come back for 2023. I believe it's going to be in January. Budget on paper is going to be in February. The organized business is coming back. So, what I'm going to do for Organize You, it is going to be the same price. And for those particular courses that I'm going to be bringing out, Organize You people will be able to be grandfathered into those courses. And I think that that's going to be a great way. And I did not want to change the price, so the price will be the same. Organize You, if you have never heard of it, it is my monthly membership program, and it is where you can get all of my downloads. Like basically, you pay $25 a month, and for the $25 a month, I'm doing two live Thursday class videos. We also go live on Tuesday here on YouTube, same exact time. I also give you all access to my planner downloads. You also get access to the book club, and I'm going to be doing different courses that Organize You people will be able to jump into as well. So it's $25 a month. And for those people who decide to become under the subscription, they get all of that within their subscription. Thank you so much, Kim. I'm so happy that you love it. But yes, it is going to still stay the same. I'm not going to change the price. I'm trying to change up the exact way that it's structured. So if you've noticed within Organize You, we have sections now. So we have a planner organization section, a money organization section, a home organization section, so that you are able to go in and watch any of the classes that you need to watch under whatever section you are looking for. And I'm really trying to make that really easy for you all, so that if you just want to jump in at any point in time, it is not relayed. Like if you can't catch the live videos, you still are able to watch any of the replays of any of the classes at any time you want to. So that's how Organize You is set up, and it is going to stay the same for next year. Yes, you can just do the entire year. I know a bunch of people, I'm like that as well. I like to pay for the year for something, and I usually do not like to do subscriptions. Like I have annual subscriptions. So with Organize You, you can do that as well. And I will put it in here if you are just interested in it and you wanted to check out the website and see if you wanted to do that. Here you go. So that's going to be the website for, so that you can go ahead and check it out if you want to. Is the budget planner the same format for 2023? Yes, it is going to be the same format. When you see Friday's video, I'm going to show you all of the planners. Basically, the only thing that has really changed to the planners is the covers. And I just simplified the covers of each one of the planners, but the planners, the insert is the exact same. They're all the same. The only thing I added in a horizontal planner, because we did not have a horizontal planner for 2021, but we will have one for 2023. So if you wanted to check that out, you can definitely check. But currently I have 5 planners within my shop. So you have the hourly planner, there's the vertical planner, the monthly planner, the horizontal planner, and the budget planner. And then of course, I also have the Tom 90 planner, which is 4 different planners that you can like kind of get in that one book. But I do have a video on all of that on my YouTube channel as well, if you wanted to catch up with that. Will you do a class on how to operate EndNote? Is that Evernote or EndNote? Let me know. Let me know. If it's Evernote, I think we have a class that's within Organize You on Evernote. But let me know if if not, if it actually is EndNote. I'm gonna have to check and see. I'm not sure what that one is. But we do have a couple of classes or a couple of things within Organize You on Evernote as well. All right, so let's see. If y'all have any more questions, keep them coming. Keep it coming. #Q. And I'm just going to also show you the additional classes that we have coming up. So I told you we have how to organize my planner. So a lot of the beginning videos are going to be around my planner because that's how I start. That's how I start with organizing my life. It always starts with I always start with my planner, and then I kind of go into my habits and my goals and my word for the year. Then I kind of go into a couple of other sections like my commonplace notebook. So we're going to be looking at all of those. Work organization. Like I said, we're going to be talking a lot for a couple of days about how to get organized for work. And then we're going to talk about personal organization. And this one, I am really excited to talk to you all about how to organize yourself personally, because this is something that I have noticed with a lot of women. We do not take care of ourselves, like our health and going to the spa and taking breaks and relaxing and taking time off. It is not something that I have seen very often within our planners. I see all of the things that we have to do for our family. I see all of the things that we have to do for our friends. I see all of the things that, we have to do for our home and the productive things that we have to do for work. But very rarely do I see beauty routines and self-care and just relaxation in our planners. And so I wanted to talk about that. I really, really want to talk about that. I talk a lot about giving yourself grace. I talk a lot about taking breaks, but I am not seeing it in y'all planners. I am looking in y'all planners and y'all are not doing it. So we are going to talk about that because what usually happens, and Pamela is saying it, so I'm gonna just post what she's just saying. So this is what usually happens to us. We don't plan it, but we crash. And then we get upset because we crashed and we didn't give ourselves a break. And so then we get mad that we're not being productive because we feel like we should always be productive, right? We should always be on top of it. And really and truly, it's not the best way to actually plan and stay on top of everything. If we want to stay on top of our lives and be our best selves, the best version of ourselves, then relaxation has to be within our planner as well. We have to plan rest. We have to have a time block that literally just says relax, take a break, take time off. And I think that it is like probably because we feel kind of guilty because we have kids, we have a spouse, we have all these things that we have to do, but we really have to find time to take breaks. Right? Oh, thank you so much. I see the hair comments. Thank y'all. But and that's even for me. I'm talking to myself as well, because even when it comes down to things like my hair, I would put off washing my hair. I would put off skincare routine. I would put off beauty routines. I would put it all off because I'm trying to like make sure the kids are okay and make sure that, and then I would get sick. and I would crash and burn, like literally crash. And, and then I would get sick and I would get upset that I was sick because now I'm so frustrated that I'm so sick and I'm like mad. And I'm like, girl, you need to rest. So I'm saying that to say we're going to talk about self care, what that looks like, how we can incorporate that, even if it's 10, 15 minutes a day. Like I can hear you already saying, I don't have time for that. I got too much to do. I have so much, but we all have, yes, I see you, Tiffany. 100%, 100% agree. I'm also too a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a pastor. I'm a daughter. I had, my parents are here. I usually will check in on them. All of those things. But when we don't take care of ourselves, we always end up getting sick. We crash, and then we get like really sick and have to go to the doctor, have to go to the hospital, and like be on medication, a whole bunch of other things. And it just causes us to spiral. It causes us to spiral. So, yes, I am all about productivity. Yes, I am all about your money. I definitely want you to get all of those things organized. But if we have to organize everything, then we have to organize everything, right? And that includes your health. That includes your self care. That includes your relaxation. It includes it all, because how are we going to show up and be our best selves for our kids, for our spouses, for our job, for, our parents and our siblings and our friends? How are we going to be our best selves if we're sick all the time because we're not resting, we're not relaxing? So that is something that we're going to talk about. We're going to dive into that. And like I said, it is on my list for Vlogmas. I do want us to dive into it because I feel like it's something that we are not doing on a consistent basis. And usually what happens is when we crash, then we feel like, okay, now I got to rest because I'm forced. And then now I'm trying to catch up again. And it just causes this like this wheel of just going round and round and round, right? So I get sick and then I have to take off for 2 weeks. And now I'm behind because I didn't take care of myself every single day. So we're going to talk about what that looks like, even in the small spurts, even if you don't have a lot of time, how we can incorporate it on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, in small spurts, so that we can remain healthy as we are trying to do all of the things for all of the other people. Yes, it's a never ending story. Yes, Sabrina, it really is. And I hope you feel better soon. I really, really do, because I saw that you said you have a sore throat and a migraine. Yeah, I used to get migraines all the time. And I think it's usually they're stress related. My doctor said that they're usually stress related. So watch that stress. It is a silent killer. It really will like make you unhealthy super quick. It will make you sick really quick. So we're going to talk about that. That is something that I want to dive into because I have noticed that is not on a lot of people's plate. A lot of people do not plan self-care. So we're going to talk about that. Other things we're going to talk about is home organization. So I am going to dive into how I have structured my home, my cleaning routines and home projects so that they don't like take over like my life. I feel like you end up taking on, like, you have a cleaning routine, you have home projects, and then you end up having to do an entire weekend where all you're doing is cleaning all the time. So I wanted to restructure that. I don't like to have my entire Saturday dedicated to cleaning. So I'm going to talk about the routine that I have put into place on a daily basis so that I don't have to do that on a consistent basis. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to dive into money. Then we're going to talk about money. So my money organization system, y'all know I talked about it last month that I'm starting back with my cash envelopes for 2023. So we're going to talk about my cash envelopes. We're going to talk about the budget planner system. I'm going to be setting up my budget planner, my money my money my money goals for 2023, and all of the things that I want, like even my budget categories. If I'm not really making too many adjustments to my budget categories for 2023, but I did want to talk about that as well, and what money habits I am going to be adding into my system for 2023. So we're going to be talking about all of those things around our money, just so that we can, like make sure we are on the same page with that. And budget on paper will probably come back in the month of February. So if you have never taken budget on paper, I am going to slightly revamp it and bring it back in the month of February, so that you're able to jump on in and see how you can budget for different things. So I will be talking about, now it won't be in this series, but when we get to next year, I am going to be diving into budgeting by the day, like how we can budget for, like, if you get paid weekly, if you have a variable pay, if you get paid once a month, like how you can definitely do that. So we will be talking about that in the month of February as well. So and also I have budget on paper, which is coming out in that month as well, just like it did last year. I'm also going to be doing some office organization. This is something that I like to do every single year, where I will reorganize my office. Well, I will like kind of switch it around. If you've ever done anything with space organization, many times, I know for me, I'm not sure if this is like this with everyone else, but for me, I do like to like kind of rearrange different things, like kind of just switch it up a little bit, because when I do that, I almost feel like I'm in a brand new space. And it might be just me, but I will switch something really simple. I will move things around, just kind of rearrange the room, and I just feel refreshed. I feel renewed. I feel like I can kind of take on again. So I will do that every couple of months. So I definitely want to do that in the month of December, and just kind of refresh my office for the new year. So I'm going to be showing you that. And then we're going to close it out with how I organize my family. I'm going to be talking about how I organize my family and prep us for events. This is just so we can make sure we have quality time, with my family. So we have to plan it. I have to plan it, because if I don't plan it, it will get away from us really, really quickly. Like I said, me and my husband are pastors. So since we are pastors, he's busy, I'm busy. I also have, organized money, and we have 2 kids. So we literally, if I make sure that I plan a family event every single month. So I wanted to walk you through how I plan those, how I look for different things that we can do, and how I can kind of add it into my planner to make it fun for our girls. Now, our girls are 8 and 10, so you might have to tweak the system if you have teenagers, or if you have younger kids, you might have to tweak what I do, but I am going to share exactly what I do. And then I'm also going to be sharing with you how I organize and set up my faith planner, because my faith planner is a very big part of my system. I like to make sure that I'm praying and staying on top of my meditation and everything every single day. So that planner is the one that kind of helps me with that. So we're going to talk about that as well. Once again, spiritual, mental well-being, once again, is just as big as all of the other organization that we need to do. So our health, our personal organization is just as big as the work and the budget planning and all of the other stuff that we need to do. We need to stay on top of it all. All right, so let's get to your questions. I want to make sure I'm answering your questions, but I just kind of laid out everything that's coming up. Remember, the first video comes out on Thursday, but I want to make sure that I'm answering some of your questions. And if I didn't mention something that you want me to talk about, put it in the chat box now. Put it in the chat box, because I am still like open. And even if I don't get it to Vlogmas, I definitely am still planning for the month of January. So after the week off, after Christmas, I'm definitely going to come back with more videos. So please let me know what would you like to see. I love this bound, but prefer Bujo. Would recommend a separate. Well, I feel like it depends. It depends. So I initially, when I started, now this was like years ago, probably like 4 years ago, I did try a bullet journal. I did try a bullet journal, and so when I jumped into my bullet journal, I had two separate ones. One was for my budget, and one was for my actual planning. Now, if you feel as though you're not going to carry around the two notebooks, like you need them all into one, then I would say, yes, do them all into one. I like having them separately because, once again, like having everything in its own little place, it works for my brain. And sometimes when I had everything together, I would get like really all mixed up, or I would start planning something else and I would never flip to the budget section. So it just depends. If you are the type of person who needs to see everything in one, then keep it all together. If you are the type of person who needs to have like separated for your mind, like so that you can clearly think through it, then separate them. And another thing that you could do is just create a complete separate section, which is something else that I did in the past. It's kind of like how I do my planner now. So my planner is 6 planners all into one, and I just separate it with the dividers. So even if it's a bound notebook, you could still do that. You could still create a tab, put a tab at the top and say, okay, everything beyond this point is for my money. Everything before this point is for my planning of my life. And that could still work for you as well. I think you just have to figure out which one best suits you, and it might take some experimentation. Like many times I am experimenting and trying different things out. You will find out even in Thursday video, I kind of switched up the way that I have set up my planner. And I did this last year, but I'm talking about the why I did it on this Thursday, because normally I'm setting up by my life categories. If y'all watched VLOGMAS last year, I set up all of these life categories. I talked about all of the categories, and then I set up my planner based on the subjects that I had set up for the subjects. So I had it by home, I had it by personal, it was budget and faith, but it was all by subject. I didn't do that this year. And I ended up changing it around July of last year. And so, with that switch and with me trying to adjust, it's basically because this way fits my life a little bit more. Planning by action instead of planning by subject just fits my life more for this season. And so, I think that that's one mistake that we will usually make when we are planning. We feel as though once we set up our planner, it has to stay that way forever. And we have to keep it we have to keep it like that. But what actually works better is when we set up our planner in a way that makes it to where we can be flexible if our life changes. So I had it set up a certain way at the beginning of last year, basically thinking I was going to be able to do the exact same thing that I did last year, but not even thinking in mind that I was opening up a church. And once we opened this church, it's like my planner, just the way that I was planning just was not working. It was not, because it was just too much too soon. I had too much on my plate to keep planning the way that I was planning. So I had to adjust everything. And so that's one thing that I think that we will have a major life change, and then we'll get upset that our planner isn't working, instead of saying, wait a minute, maybe it's the life change that's causing me to have to change the planner. So try it out. Try different things, and don't be afraid to see if it doesn't work, to adjust it. Like, I am quick to change my mind if it doesn't work. Do I have a supply list to match the month? If you're talking about like an actual divider for each month, then yes. But I do have all of my planners also, and I am going to share with you all of the planners that's sitting on my desk over there, because those are the planners that I'm going to be using for next year. So it was just a Q&A this today. Jennifer, I was just wanted to share the videos that are coming up for Vlogmas, which is what I was just showing you all here. It's kind of small, but I was showing you all here the videos that were coming up for Vlogmas, and I just decided to do a Q&A today, just so I can get an insight on what you all are looking for, or what you may want to see from me from Vlogmas or beyond Vlogmas, just so I can get a little bit more insight. Yes, we are still, if you're part of Organize You, we are still reading Take Back Your Time. We will talk about that one. I believe it's this Thursday. I believe we're going to be talking about that on Thursday. The book club for this week, I got to look at the calendar, but I'm pretty sure it's either this Thursday or next Thursday that we're going to be diving into the book club for this particular, for last month. That's what we talked about last month. All right. Let's see, questions. Um, let's see. I'm trying to make sure. Uh, uh, um. Oh, I see you, Lauren. Hi. Yeah, I want to say it's book club. But don't hold me to it, because I'm not 100% sure. And I have to look at my calendar to see exactly. But I'm going to send out an email tomorrow to everyone who's within Organize You. I always send out emails on Wednesday or Thursday to kind of let you know everything that is coming up for the new year. All right. Can definitely use office help. Yeah, and with mine, like I have two offices. I have one in my house, which is the one that I'm in the majority of the time. I also have one for when I go and see clients, like clients that are actually in the city. And that is like outside of the house. And so that one is really simple. But I will kind of move things around every now and then. And it really does help me to feel like, it helps me to feel like I, kind of have an insight into everything that I'm doing. All right. Let's see. How do you keep the disc bound planners in a tidy way? I stopped using them because I find them uncomfortable for my table desk bag. Um, well, okay, so for all of my disc bound planners, I keep them all usually in here. And even with my inserts, I will keep in a separate notebook. So I keep all the inserts, all the things that have to go. I always keep it within another disc bound notebook instead of just keeping them out. Like I like to put them in something else, and that helps me to like keep the pages from folding over. And I did a reel or a short, if you wanted to look under my shorts, or if you're on Instagram, I did a reel on my insert organization, like how I use my inserts, or how I organize the inserts. So you can definitely like make sure that you add and check those out as well. All right. Um, new here. What's Vlogmas? So Vlogmas is 25 videos that I will do from December 1st through December 25th. So every single day, starting on Thursday, every single day, 4 p.m. Central. So the time I started this live, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, I am going to post a video, and I'm going to show you the next video that's actually coming up is this particular video. This is the first video that's going to come out on Thursday. And every single day in the month of December, all the way up until December 25th, I'm going to post a new video that is around organization. So we're going to start with planning, home organization, self-care organization, all of the different types of organization. So this is how, this is what Vlogmas is. And a lot of YouTubers do this. I am not the only one, but they will call it different things. Some people call it Planmas. Some people call it Vlogmas. Different people say different things, but basically it's either when a creator will do 12 videos or they will do 25 videos in a row around a particular subject to help you get prepared for the new year. So mine is always on organization, and we're going to be getting prepared, getting organized, getting our mind ready and prepped for the brand new year. All right. How do you, can't wait to see all your Vlogmas episodes. Thank you, Lauren. And to see your word of the year and planners. How did you come up with your word for the year? So I go through many iterations of my word of the year. So let me see if I can show you. What I usually like to do is kind of brainstorm the different words that I have tried or wanted to try for the new year. I'm not sure. Can I share this? Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh, I might be able to do this. Okay. Let's see. I think I can do it. So hopefully you all can see this. Hopefully you can see this. But every single year, I will set up a word for the new year. And I have done this probably for the last, looks like the last, since 2019. Since 2019, I will decide what my words are going to be. And I will set it up for the new year. So for 2019, my word was growth. And the way I will usually decide is I come up with a bunch of different words that I like. And so for 2019, okay, I started my YouTube channel in 2018. And so I didn't really have a word that year. I was just kind of getting started. But when 2019 hit, I knew my biggest goal was to grow in every area of my life. So I wanted to grow within my business, this YouTube channel that I just created. I was trying to get more consistent with my health, and I was trying to grow, and just grow was the word that kind of kept coming up. So how do I come up with these words? Mainly it's something that I just feel, or I just keep seeing, or if I'm praying, it's something that I'm continuously praying about. It could be multiple things that kind of end up having me come up with that word. So 2019 word was grow. 2020 word was peace. And it actually didn't start off as peace. I think it started off as like empowered or something like that. But by March, I changed the word. And if you know anything about 2020 and how crazy that year was, that was my word. I just decided, you know what? This is insane. Pandemic is crazy. I need peace. And so that was like, I basically switched that word in the month of March because of all of the anxiety and things that I was just feeling in that year, because everything that was going on. And then for 2021, it was creativity. That's just where my mind was. I wanted to be more creative. 2022 was multiplication. And then for 2023, I'm pretty sure it's going to be freedom. And so I'm going to talk about how I got to even the word freedom, because at one point it was focused, at one point it was fearless, but I ended up settling on freedom mainly because I knew that that's what I wanted to feel in every area, like freedom to be myself, freedom in my business, not feeling like I'm boxed in any other areas. But I will decide multiple words just because of just like trying to experiment with different things. And so if you keep coming up with a certain word, or something keeps coming into your spirit, or it's the opposite of something that you always feel, right? Like if I'm always feeling fearful, then the opposite of being fearful is freedom. So I'm like, that's going to be my word. That's what I want for the new year. So that's usually how I do it. It's kind of like just like going back and forth and playing with different things, and just trying to figure out which ones I like kind of work with me or work for me. All right, let me see if I can go back and see. Looking forward to Vlogmas. Yes. Um, Keep having pages fall out of the disbound planner. Huh. I would say first, make sure that you have some type of cover or something that is longer than your pages. Sometimes, even when if it's a happy planner, I always had some type of hard cover, because the cover that comes along, even with my planner, that the covers are kind of like really kind of against the pages. And many times when it's like right against the pages, then this can easily get bent and it will cause the other pages to kind of flip out. Second thing is when you are taking out the pages and putting them back in, make sure that you are pulling at a diagonal. Like, don't jerk it straight at you. Pull it like almost like at an angle. That helps the pages to kind of keep their shape, and the holes won't like kind of get out of shape, because once they kind of bend out of shape, then the pages start to fall out super easily. So when you pull at it, make sure you're pulling at a diagonal and not straight. I'm hoping that that makes sense, because if you pull straight up, then you're going to like kind of wear out the hole. But if you pull at a diagonal where you kind of pull down, it will help you to preserve the shape of your of the pages of it. Try not to pull out too many at one time. Like if you're trying to pull out 50 pages or 20 pages at one time, I've noticed that if I try to pull out any more than 8 pages, usually I will ruin my pages. Now, I haven't done this in a couple years. For the most part, none of my pages have torn. And if you are printing your own, print on 32-pound paper. Print on a higher number. Do not print on 20-pound, 28, none of that. 32 has to be like a higher pound to make sure that the pages are nice and sturdy. So hopefully those tips will help. And if you're using some type of hole punch, um, I'm not a big fan of Happy Planner's hole punch. I am not a big fan of theirs. I do like Levenger's and I like Tools. Those two hole punch usually punch at deeper, to where the pages usually like are held together a little bit better. All right. So hopefully that can really, really help you. Um, to ship out to customer. Yes, I am adding more. Like if you look under my printable inserts section, I think I've added like 4 or 5 of them right as of now. There's the habit trackers there, the meal planners. There are a couple there now, but I am going to be adding more in the new year. I basically was like, I just hired, I hired someone about a couple of months ago to help me with the shop. Because to be honest, the main reason why I wasn't adding a bunch of different things to the shop, even the things that I create to my planner, I wasn't adding them, is because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to get them out to you in a timely manner. And now that I have someone who is able to assist me, I am going to be adding more things. If y'all notice, I do have a cash envelope system now. I am planning on adding sticker books, because a lot of you love my colorful boxes. And I wanted to create a colorful box like book, to where you have like 20, 30 pages of a colorful box book. But once again, I was worried about manpower, because I'm a small business. And so you definitely have to stay on top of that. I don't want it to take you really, really long to get your products. So it's taking me some time, but you're definitely going to see more coming from my shop, as far as printables, as far as like custom options, as far as being able to like, hopefully I'm going to be able different sizes soon. I really, really want to do that. So it's taking me some time, but I am definitely looking into doing all of those different things. Let's see. So the best thing that you can do, and the top thing that I do, is have my Tom 90 planner. So if you notice, I have about 5 different planners that are offered. But if you get the Tom 90 planner, it comes with 3 months of 4 different planners. So that's the way that I was trying to like work it to where it can be a little bit easier, to have multiple sections without having to like, and so it's for the entire quarter. And if you get that planner, I want to say it's $37. You get 4 planners for you get 4 planners. It's the hourly planner, the vertical planner, the monthly planner, and the budget planner. You get those 4, you get 3 months of all of them. So you get an entire quarter's worth for the $37. So you get like January, February, March, you can have all 4 of those planners, 3 months of each one. And then that's a better way than trying to get, all of them. And then I have some people who will buy the Tom 90 planner, get that first one, and then they get the printables or the downloads, and then they just reprint them on their own. And that way they can just kind of keep reprinting them, and they never have to like repurchase again because they have all of the downloads that they need. So yes. Are we able to see? Yes, I want to say I still have it up. I want to say it's a playlist that is under my shop. Um, it's under I think it's under the organization playlist. And if you go there, you should be able to see them. But I do have a playlist on there. I cannot remember if I just resorted all of because one thing I do like to do is I like to have my videos organized by subject. So sometimes I will set it up for the month where you have all of the videos that were correlated to that particular month. And then sometimes I will adjust it to where it's like all of the organization videos are here, all of the budget videos are here, home videos are here. I cannot remember if I did that for 2021 yet, but if you look under the organization tab, I want to say that they should still be there, and you are able to look at those if you want to look at those. If your pages are bent, then that would be the only thing that would probably cause them to fall out of your planner. But for the most part, mine, well, I've never had any issues. And it might be because, once again, I always keep my cover on, and I like don't take out too many of them at the same time. So that definitely helps me to say, to keep on them. And you definitely have to watch the punch that you're using, because I just feel like Happy Planner punch, for some reason, when I was using those, the holes either would not go all the way through, like, or I only had to do one, or they were really shallow. And so I prefer the Tool one or the Levenger one. I feel like those two are like the best hole punchers. I like them way better than Happy Planner. Please. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Kim. You're so sweet. Okay. I bought Tom Planner on Etsy. Yay. Moving into a career where I need to be super organized. Looking forward to the vlogs. What covers will work for the letter size? Awesome. So the covers for the letter size. This is my tool cover. So the tool cover it's like a harder cover. Now, if you want something more lightweight, I also have the Notique cover. So those are the two that I usually will recommend for letter size. So with this one, if you go on to my Amazon favorites, I have my Amazon shop, should be linked in the description box. Once we jump off of live, you should be able to check there. But with this particular one, it's a hardbound cover. This one's a little bit heavier than the Notique. The Notique one is much like it's a lighter weight cover, but both of them work really well with this particular size. The Notique cover does not have the pen holder. That's one thing to keep in mind. The Notique cover also does not have the pockets in the inside. So this one does have like 3 pockets. It has 2 shorter pockets here and then the longer one here. So this is the one that I am currently using. But whenever I am traveling and I know I have different, like a bunch of different places to go, then I will switch to the Notique one because it's much lighter and I can carry it around easier. And yes, I do carry my planner everywhere I go. That is, I do. Ooh, I love that. Consistency. I absolutely love that. That's an amazing word. Such a great word. So, yeah, I have a couple of people who are amening that. Yes, that's a great word. That's a great word. So, yes, I love that. Um, so the cash wallet is back in stock now. The if you ordered from the first set, though all of those are going out by the end of this week. So I should have them all in and have them going out this week. If you ordered from yesterday on, those will probably go out next week. All right. So I know the first set sold out super quickly. Y'all bought them way faster than I was planning on it. So it took me a second, like a couple of days to get them restocked, but now they are restocked. So they will go out at the end of next week as well. Tool covers, yes. TUL is that's the best one. These are the best ones for the letter size planners, and they fit perfectly. They keep all my pages within that same, like in my planner. I never had any issues with any of them falling out or anything like that. The planner does not come in A6 size. This is something I was talking about a little bit earlier, that I am looking to hopefully add on more sizes in the long run. I do want to add in more sizes. Currently, they only come as classic size, classic Happy Planner size, and the letter size. So that's where we are right now. Hopefully next year I will be able to add in more sizes. All right. Is having a time schedule, time block, student happy planner, and a dashboard layout for your to-dos a good setup, or what a setup you would recommend? I am trying to switch up my happy planners. Now, here's the thing. I've loved the time block student planner. I love the teacher planner, and I love the dashboard planner for happy planner. Like, really and truly, when it comes down to planner, the best planner is the one that you're going to use. So if you feel like, you know what, this is going to work for me, I can feel this setup really working for me, then try it out. Like, I use the teacher planner from Happy Planner for my social media for a while before I switched over to just using my own. But I used the teacher planner and I loved it. I actually have thought about creating a dashboard planner myself and a teacher planner myself because of how much I love those layouts. So the main thing is you just like play around with them, experiment, try it out, see what's going to work for you. And if it works for you, then go for it. Like, I know certain people, like, sometimes we'll try and force something that's not really working for us, but we want it to work and we were trying to force it. But many times it's just best to, to like just use what's actually working for you. So try it. Yes. I have switched up my planners many of times, and once I switch it up, I'm like, this was the best decision ever. That's how I got stuck on the hourly planner. Like, I was using vertical for so long because I saw everyone else using vertical, and I felt like it had to work for me because it was working for everyone else. And when I tried the hourly, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like all of my light bulbs came on, everything, it just kind of just went in sync. And I think it was just because in my mind, I thought I had to like make it work, and I just didn't. Like, I just had to find something that was going to work for me. When you're running to the grocery store, so not all the time, not all the time. I will usually, now with this one, I will, if I'm going somewhere work related, if it is business related, if I have a meeting, if I have something that I need to do where it is specifically meeting, work, or church related, I am going to bring this. I will not leave it at home. However, if I'm running an errand, let's say I'm going to the post office, I'm just going run to Target. I will take a picture of the list that is in my planner, or I will take one of my like little small brainstorming notebooks and I will carry that instead. It really depends on the purse that I am carrying and where I'm going. When I'm going to somewhere business related, I will usually carry a bigger bag. I like to carry totes. So with my tote, this will always get thrown in my tote. I'm going to keep it on me. However, if I'm going somewhere like just running real quick to the post office or to Walmart, to the grocery store, to something like that, then many times I'm not going to carry my tote just because I already have to do so much walking and I don't want to have to carry this big bag on my shoulder. So I will either carry my brainstorming notebook or I will take a picture of whatever is in my planner and I'm just going to go off the picture. So that's how I usually will do that. Ooh, maintaining an Etsy shop. That's a very great one, Jennifer. I'm going to write that down. Yes, we can talk about studio organization and how I started and organized my Etsy shop. Yes, that's a great one. I'm writing that down. It's a good topic. So I got digital organization and Etsy shop organization as of right now. I just got a new job and more financial blessings have started to come in. Congratulations. How exciting for you. I want to be more organized in my spending and prepare for the future. What would you say would need to be my first step? I would say your very first step is to see what's going to be the increase and assign what you're going to do with it before you get it. So one of the top things that usually happen to us whenever we get a financial blessing is we won't assign something to it and it gets away from us and lifestyle creep starts to come on in and it makes it harder for us to adjust and act like we didn't get it, right? So one of the best things you can do is just assign it to savings, assign it to paying off debt, assign it to investing, assign it to something before you get it. Because what happens is that when we had that extra money just sitting in our bank account and we didn't have no purpose for it, we didn't set a purpose or a decision for what we're going to do with that money. What ends up happening is we start to spend it on other things. Then we get used to spending it on other things and other random habits. And those habits start to seep in and sink in, and it becomes harder to adjust and stop. So best thing to do is to decide what are your top goals. Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to increase your savings? Do you want to increase your emergency fund? Do you want to save for traveling? Do you want to go on vacation? Do you want to save for Christmas? What do you want to do with that money before you get it? Set it, kind of decide already so that as soon as you get paid, you can automatically have that extra increase go somewhere else. That is going to be the best thing that you can do in order to stop yourself from spending it on frivolous or just impulsive spending when you get it. Because if you wait till when you get it, once that money hits your account, your mind starts to like just turn about all the different things that you can do. So yes, please make a teacher planner. Yes. I'm definitely going to do that. Because here's the thing, I miss my teacher planner that I used to do for social media. So yeah, that's a great one. I'm gonna have to. Oh yeah, I love the teacher planner. I can't lie, it was one of my favorites. That one and a dashboard planner have been like having me in a chokehold. Like I really do want them. I really, really do want them. Um, Love your videos. We'll be talking about organized Bible study. Yes, or where to start about that. So one of my subscribers like texted me the other day and they sent me this amazing book. So I'm going to and it was a biblical book on how to thou shall prosper, I think is the name of the book. And I definitely added it to my list But I am going to be doing more Bible studies. Now, I do a lot more faith planning and Bible studies on my second channel. So, we have a second channel, which is our church channel. It's called Empowerment. We Are Empowerment is the name of that channel. And on there is where I am going to be doing way more Bible studies. I did a couple of 10-minute Bible studies, but I definitely want to do way more around just faith planning in general, prayer, meditation. On organized money, though, I am going to be doing a lot of more money and faith videos, because here's the thing. A lot of times when it comes down to your money, y'all know I'm a pastor, I'm a person of faith. So it's going to come out in my videos. I know sometimes I will get some comments on how, they don't want me to commingle. I can't help it. It is who I am. So it's going to come out. Y'all going to hear me talk about Jesus. Okay. So but on this channel, though, many times I do believe that, I did a video a while ago and I talked about how it was a habit that I put into place that didn't have anything to do with money, but definitely helped me with my money. And the number one thing that I talked about is prayer, how praying about my money helped me with my money. It helped me to have more faith with my money. It helped me to see opportunities that I didn't see before. It helped me to have more faith in myself, in my business, and what I was trying to do, in my gifts that God had given me. It just helped me to clear my mind and to focus in on what God was doing in my life instead of focusing in on my lack. And so I definitely want to talk more about that. I am going to do a video during Vlogmas on my faith planner and my faith organization and just how I apply more faith into my life, because I feel like many times we will kind of get away from it and we won't really plan out how to make sure that we're just developing a habit or developing the discipline of staying on top of our faith life. But even more than that, I am going to do more videos that will be talking more about those types of topics. Yes, where we're talking about faith planning and stuff like that. So yes, you will see more coming that way. And then I will also post more on my other channel as well, because me and my husband do a lot of videos over there talking about faith planning as well. Can you talk about how to have a family meeting with the spouse organization? Yes, I did this video. I did a video on this a long time ago, but I will definitely do an updated. Let me put this on my list too. So we have maintaining extra shop, digital organization, and me and my husband did one on money dates, like how to do a money date. Because one thing I talked about is, whenever I used to make our money money conversations like heavy, where it was like I had a full-on presentation, we going through the expenses, and I started talking about all the different things that we needed to do, it became like really like anxious and stressed. But one thing we started to do is, instead of talking about all the things that we had to do with the current money we had, we started talking about our goals and our dreams and our visions and different things that we wanted to do with our money that way. And that eased up. It made it easier to talk about money. So I will definitely do a video on that, on our money dates and how we kind of lighten it and make it to where it's more communication and less like tension around the topic, right? So yes, we will definitely do that. Do you sell gift certificates, gift cards on your Etsy shop? You know what? I am going to see how I can do that. I don't right now, but I think I can add a listing and make a gift certificate. So I'm writing that down. So email me tomorrow, Charlene, though. Email me tomorrow to make sure that I can send you the link once I figure out how to do it. So if you don't have my email, let me put it in, but it's my name at theorganizedmoney.com. But email me to make sure that I have done it. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. So sweet. Yeah, we do live stream our videos every single Sunday at 9:30 Central. So if y'all interested, it's always on my second channel. I want to sell digital products, do it, and create more streams of income. I was wondering if Etsy, it's an amazing platform for this. It is an amazing platform for creating digital sites. The main reason why I still recommend Etsy is because a lot of people will find your Etsy shop even if you like just by being on Etsy, right? Because so many people are on there. Now, don't get me wrong, you have competition, but if you set up your planner or you set up your products in the right way, the right people will find it. And I used to do, when I first started my shop, I did like $10 advertising on my shop, and it was like $10 a month. But it really did help my shop. And I really found a way to be able to still sell to different people. And like Etsy would just do the marketing for me. Yes, I do highly recommend that you definitely go with Etsy. And once I do the maintaining an Etsy shop video, I am going to talk more about that because I feel like Etsy is an amazing, this is my second Etsy shop. And the first shop that I had, I wasn't on YouTube at all. I didn't do any promotion like that. It was an invitation Etsy shop that I had, and it was a six-figure business just from me selling invitations. And I want to say I had like 10 invitations, but they did so well because of Etsy's marketing. And so I know a lot of people talk about how difficult it is right now and to like get started on Etsy, but really and truly, I feel like, you know, you can always find a way to kind of make it work. So I'll definitely give you some tips and stuff when I post my video on it as well. Um, mm, mm, mm. Can you talk about how to organize your family meetings? Oh yeah, we talked about. So when I am the main person, it depends on who's the person that actually is over the finances in your house. I am the main person. So I do like to send stuff to my husband beforehand. And then we will talk about it after he's kind of looked at it, just so I'm not the only one talking about it. But me and him actually, I might pull him in on this one as well, because I think that he would be able to serve as a great like voice to talk about the other side, right? Like to have like it's not just me telling y'all what I would do or how I would bring it, you know, because when we got married initially, like I was always I've been organized for a very long time. Well, when we got married, my money was not always together, but I used the planner probably since the age of 10. So it's like I had moments where I was super organized and then moments where I was not. But money was one of those. It was a pressure point for us. Like it was hard in the beginning because we just did not see eye to eye. Like if we had $10 in our account, I was crying, feeling like we didn't have any money. If we had $10 in our account, my husband was fine. He felt like, oh, we still have $10. We're good. We're okay. We could get things off the dollar menu. And I'm like, are you insane? So we just weren't on the same page. And one of the biggest things that helped us get on the same page was talking about our goals and talking about the different things that we wanted in the long run instead of the right now. Because right now can kind of cloud your judgment just based on what you think, but planning later on will definitely help you with that. So I might bring him in on that conversation because yeah, we could definitely talk about that. Reason I started setting aside your tithes first, and I still do. I still do. I am a tither. I am big on it, and so right now it's on my business budget though, and I might even do a business budget because I feel like I haven't done one of those in a while. Like I pay myself. When I first started, it was just my personal money and I was tithing off of that. But now I tithe off of my business income because all of the money goes into my business and then I pay myself a certain amount. So I wanted to make sure I was tithing off of it all. So we could talk about that too. Let's see, a couple of more questions. With hourly planning, time blocking, having a hard time predicting how long a task will take or I lose track of time and forget to change the task. Well, okay, so one of the things that you can do with hourly planning is over predict how long. So I always over plan. And it's okay if you over plan, because then that means you're not like pinpointing, like I like to have white space in my day. You don't want to time block every single minute because that's exhausting. The second thing that you want to do is, make sure that you keep your planner open, or even when you're working on a task, that you have an alarm or something that's going to trigger you to let you know when it's time to switch tasks. So most of the times when I first started, I would set an alarm on my phone for the time block that I needed to set. Now I don't have to do that as much, because I can kind of feel when I am like being lazy or dragging my feet or not switching tasks. And I'll even adjust my planner. Many times I will adjust my planner if I'm just not feeling it. I'm like, okay, today is not the day. I will just adjust. So you just kind of have to play around to see what's going to work for you. But I do know an alarm definitely is helpful in over predicting how much time you'll need. Usually I will over predict by like 30 minutes. So if I believe something will really take me an hour, I will plan an hour and a half, because I know that I'll be able to kind of stay within that time frame. I realize that I'm a very emotional spender. Yeah, have been there. Also in a space where I'm realizing my discipline is anything slack because I don't know how to say no. Can you talk about discipline and saying no? Yes. So discipline is one of the top things that will be required in almost any other area that we talk about. When it comes down to your money, when it comes down to your habits, when it comes down to your routines, a lot of it comes down to discipline. Because if I can't make myself do, when you first start off anything, when you're first starting off, you have to make yourself do it. It's going to require a lot of discipline before the habit kicks in. Now, once it becomes a habit, you don't need as much discipline. You really don't. Like right now, my planner is such a habit that I don't need discipline to open up my planner, to sit at my, desk and to actually start working. It becomes easier over time. Filming became easier once I got into the habit, but it required a lot of discipline in the beginning. And so I can talk about those different things, how you need to make it as easy as possible to actually complete a task, in order to not have to work up too much discipline in order to have to do that task. So a lot of that comes down to decision fatigue, making sure you're decreasing as many decisions as possible. Also, making sure you're making it as easy as possible to complete a particular task. So we will talk about that. And it also sounds like we need to talk about time boundaries, because time boundaries is where we let other people kind of come in and take our time from us. And if you can't say no, then usually it's because you don't have those time boundaries in place. And we will need to talk about that as well. So our other channel, it's called We Are Empowerment. And that is my other YouTube channel where we put up like more. It is faith Bible studies. It is our church services. I am also a pastor. So that is that's my other channel. And that's where you will find more videos, especially in the new year, because I have a bunch of other videos that are coming up for the new year. For around our faith and how it relates. When it comes to how it relates to money, I'll probably put that on Organized Money. But when we're talking about just things like discipline and motivation and faith and how to know your gifting from God, that will be on that other channel. Yes, I love when Tori sits in. A lot of people love when he sits in too. He is, and we're definitely going to be doing more videos together, especially on our other channel. We've already started on Instagram. So if you're following We Are Empowerment on Instagram, you'll see that we have already started putting videos there. But I am going to start pulling him in on some of these other things that I've even been doing with Organized Money, because with Organized Money, he's basically behind the scenes. Y'all don't see him, but he really does do a lot. Like, he sends out the emails, he will jump in every now and then. But for 2023, we're going to be pulling him in more often because he does have a lot of insight. He has a lot of insight. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. I try to be as transparent as possible because I'm like, if I don't tell you, who will? Can we talk about courage? So here's the thing, and it is courage. It definitely is. But I would say before you even try to jump out and start there, it all comes down to trust. And many times I would say I'm just so scared, but it was because I did not trust myself. I did not trust that what I was doing was actually helpful for anyone. So that is what the root of my fear was. What's the root of your fear? Right? Like, what is the, like, we have to find what's the cause, what's the root. Do you not trust yourself? Do you feel like you don't know enough? Do you feel like, okay, I'm gonna lose money, I can't do this, I can't? What is the root of the fear? Because that's what we have to look at when we're talking about courage, because courage can come from multiple places, right? I can get courage from God. I could have faith. I could get pumped up and motivated for a particular moment. But in order to have it sustained, I have to get to the root of it. I have to talk about the faith, the root of the fear, so that I can address that, so that I can keep my courage. And so what I realized, the root of my fear was not trusting me. I didn't see myself as a leader. I didn't see myself as someone who could actually teach anybody anything. I didn't see myself as an educator. And so I was just living and scared to open up my business for 4 years. I wanted to open it in 2014, and I didn't open until 2018 because I was scared. I was scared that I didn't know enough, and I was scared and I didn't trust that I had the knowledge to do so. And now looking back, I'm like, oh my goodness, it was so insane. But it's only because I'm looking back. And so I think that the biggest thing for you to really kind of zone in on, and a lot of journaling can help you really kind of figure this out. Like, just kind of write down the fear. Like, what is it that you fear? And then once you start seeing it written down on paper, especially when you write it down, because when it's in your head, it makes sense. When you write it down, it stops making sense. And then you have to kind of figure out, why do I feel like this? And that will definitely help you kind of get better, and not be so consumed with your fear, or just trying to just like, oh, I just need to have more courage. Oh, business budgeting. We can definitely do that. Y'all giving me some great ideas. Business budgeting. We're going to write that down. Do you use, I don't use a task now, okay, I don't use a task manager, but what I will use is my notes. So I have a notes app, and I just kind of showed it to you on my iPhone. That's where I will jot down something that I need to do later on, and I will just add it to my planner from there. So that's how I will just kind of stay on top of, all of the notes and everything that I got to do. All right. Yeah, you gotta trust. I don't feel like I'm equipped enough. And that is one that I used to have as well. One thing that will help you if you don't feel like you know enough is to start reading. Read as much as you possibly can. I read every money book, every budgeting book I could find. If you go back to my channel and you just look at my top 10 financial books, I read every financial book, every productivity book. I still read a lot. And the reason I read a lot is because the more you read, the more comfortable you feel with what you know. I don't care what the subject is. The more you read about it, the more comfortable you get in teaching it, because you'll start to know more. And if you don't feel like you're equipped, or if you feel like you're running out of ideas, then that is definitely, how it could kind of happen. Like, main thing is, like, with any of this, we have to get to a place where we can trust God and trust ourselves. Like, I did an entire reel on this, but one of the things is that it is not just trusting in me, because if it was just me, then I'm only human, right? So I could definitely still fall apart and not do well. But if I trust God, then he can do all of it, right? So I'm not just trusting me, I'm trusting him, and believing that he has equipped me with everything that I need in order to take this journey. And yes, I might not know it all right now. I might not be the best budgeting person out there. I might not be the expert to all of the people that are out there, but I know that I have what I need in order to take this journey. So I know that every step that I take, God is leading my very next step. And as long as he's leading my very next step, then I can't fail, right? Even if I have something go wrong, yes, something could go wrong, but that doesn't mean that, like, that's the end of my journey. It's only the end when I decide it's the end. And I never decided that it was the end, so I could just keep going. And so trust God, trust yourself, read as much as you possibly can. And the more you read, the more you're going to be like, oh, in situations, things are just going to come up and you're going to be like, oh, I could talk about that because I read that in a book. No one says that it has to be your knowledge, right? So there are so many things that I have taught that I read and just kind of put my own spin on, right? I read Getting Things Done. And then I was like, ooh, I could set up my planner this way. I could talk about an inbox. I could talk about what I learned from Atomic Habits. I could talk about what I learned from Eat That Frog. I could talk about what I learned from Dave Ramsey's books. Like, you could take that knowledge and be able to apply it to your own life and even talk about your own personal experience. You don't have to be an expert, because I did not start off as, I don't even consider myself really an expert. I really consider myself an educator who's just talking about all of the situations and things that she has already been through. Like, I am literally just organizing myself and taking you all on the journey with me. And it's helping other people, just sharing with you what I am doing and what works for me. And so if you look at it like that, instead of looking at it like I have to be this expert before I start, then I think it will help you when you look at yourself as, you know what, we're both students. I am just in the 8th grade and you're in the 6th grade. So I can help you along to help you get to the 8th grade with me. And then by the time you get to the 8th grade, I'm probably going to be in high school, but that's okay. Like, I am always just one step ahead because I read a couple of more books or I learned a little bit more. And that's good. That's what we want to do, because once you start putting yourself on this page where you have to be an expert that knows it all, you're setting yourself up for failure, because there's no way you're going to know it all. Right? God has got to give you some strength and some power to help you along the way. All right. So, yes. Oh, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I actually read that book. I read that book. I really do love it. I read fictional books too, but I really did read that book. I love that book. And I also read another one, the mass fictional book that I read, and it was another really great one that just put life in perspective. It really puts everything in perspective. So I need to do a video on that one as well. It was a really great book. All right, last question. When you talk about business budgeting, could you talk about the percentage of income should be saved for taxes? Yes, I will answer that real quick. I save 30% for taxes. I automatically save 30% for taxes, but I'm going to show you when we do that video the breakdown of like what I decide I'm going to pay myself, how I decide I'm going to pay myself, because many times, like, it took me a while to figure out how much I could afford to pay myself on a consistent basis, because I pay myself every single Tuesday, and I had to kind of figure out, okay, how much can you pay yourself on a consistent basis so where the business doesn't suffer, but your personal life doesn't suffer either, and you could pay all your bills. So that took me some time, but I'm going to, I'm going to talk about all of that as well. All right. Ooh, girl. Oh my goodness. Okay. One book on money. Um, Goodness. It would either be, oh, I can't give you one. I can't give you one. Uh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was a really, really great one. Worth It by Amanda Steinberg was one of my favorites as well. If you're a woman, you should definitely read that book, because she really dives into a lot of different things. You Need a Budget, and uh, I'm going to leave it at those. Leave it at but Think and Grow Rich is also another good one. And that one's not like exactly money, but it's still a really, really great one. And I really love that one as well. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. But I have an entire video on like my favorite money books, and I can't remember if I put them in order. I probably did not, because I really, really love every single book. Uh, Y'all know my husband is always going to be the kind one. Thank you, baby. Six Secrets of Money. Thank you. But yeah, like, you should definitely. Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all so much. So y'all gotta jump off. I know I kept y'all an extra 30 minutes, and I really try my best not to do that. But this was a Q&A, so it was different. So remember, this Thursday, this particular Thursday, we're kicking off our series, right? So we are going to be doing how I'm organizing my planner for 2023. That's the very first video. That's going to be this Thursday, 4 p.m. Central. After this one, I am going to post it up, so you should see it every single day, every day from December 1st through the 25th. I'm going to have a new video up on this channel. So make sure that you come on back, turn on your notifications so that you can follow me along on these videos. And then at the end of every video, I have like kind of a clip of what's coming up next. I thought that would be a nice touch. So y'all let me know how y'all like that, and I will see you all on Thursday. All right. Y'all have a good one, and organize you people. We will have class on Thursday as well. So I will see y'all for class. Bye, guys.